Why do so many men stay stuck today, knowing what they want, but never actually going for it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you why men hesitate and what you can do about it to blow that hesitation out forever. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you one simple exercise that's really going to help you defeat procrastination once and for all. But before I get started, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, and share. Now let's get started. So what is the hidden fear behind procrastination? What drives it? And at its core, it's basically self-esteem. There's some part of you that doesn't feel good enough for whatever you're procrastinating with. For example, if you want to start a business and you keep procrastinating, there's a part of you deep down inside that's afraid of failure. What if I fail? What if I screw it up? What if I'm not good enough? And if you look at relationships, for example, there might be a part of you that feels like you're not good enough for a relationship or not attractive enough or not sexy enough. So we tend to procrastinate. We do all kinds of stuff to avoid the tension of the very thing we want to do. And this includes especially, I'm going to say especially here, the thing you most want to do. That's where the procrastination tends to be the strongest. You see, every man out there has something that they want to give to the world. It's a big gift. It's a burning desire. It's something you're born to give to the world. And that's usually when you have the self-esteem issues going on, where you're going to procrastinate the most. When you move in the direction of your zone of genius, the thing you're born to give to the world, what'll happen is fear will flood your body. Because if deep down inside you don't feel good enough, there's nothing worse than being rejected for the thing you most want to do, the gift you most want to give. Matter of fact, when you go to step in the direction of that, it hurts more than anything. Until you get over the procrastination. Well, until you get over actually the fear and the self-esteem issue and the imposter syndrome. But when you do, when you get to the other side, the results are absolutely amazing. The way you feel, it's like you go from so much pain inside your body and fear and doubt and worry to passion and drive. You become unstoppable. Now, before we get to how to get unstuck from this, I want to talk about readiness. If you wait till you're ready, if you wait till the perfect moment, if you wait till the stars align, like so many people that I know have done, it's never going to happen. You see, the stars align, your RAS, the reticular activating system in your body, the part of your mind that sorts for the reality you most believe in, is never going to see a perfect reality because you don't believe, because deep down inside, you have all this fear, this anxiety, this doubt, this worry. So the RAS has to sort for more doubt, more worry, more fear, and then show it to you in your life. The RAS is processing, I talk about this a lot, right? At over 10 million bits of data per second. You're only seeing consciously around 10 bits. So you're seeing just a small fraction of the reality that's happening around you. You got this whole reality that is filled with possibilities, possibilities that can make that business come true, possibilities that can get you that woman of your dreams, possibilities that can really change your reality. But if you have all this anxiety, this fear, this doubt, this worry, this imposter syndrome inside of you, it's not going to see that. It's going to see things that reinforce the fear, the doubt, the worry, the imposter syndrome. And so you're never going to be ready. So the first step is you got to realize that readiness is not something you're looking for. What you're looking for right now is how to slay the imposter syndrome. The first set of actions you've got to take are going to be geared around this idea of cleaning out the subconscious mind, weeding the garden of the subconscious mind of all these negative self-defeating beliefs, cleaning out your shadow, doing your shadow work, while at the same time moving in the direction of the man that you are meant to be. So next thing I want to talk about is small actions, the 1% rule, how you start to slay this demon a little bit at a time. And within a short period of time, how your whole reality can change. But before I do, I want to tell you a little bit more about the event we're putting on in Croatia coming up at the beginning of October. It's going to be an amazing event. Check this out. We have our first ever, and hopefully we have them on a regular basis, cruise coming up on a private yacht. It's our Croatia event that we're going to be doing in the beginning of October. It's going to be an amazing event, and I'm going to be teaching every day in the afternoon while we're on this beautiful yacht traveling around Croatia to different islands. Every morning you get to get off the boat and explore a different island. You get to play on paddle boards. You just get to have fun in the sun. There's going to be a hot sauna, jacuzzi. We're going to have breakfast and dinner. You get to go have lunch on the island every day. But every afternoon, we're going to be doing teachings, the energetic embodiment teachings. Now, this is going to be 4 nights. Last time I said it was 3 nights. It's actually going to be 4 nights, 5 days of teachings mixed with us bonding together and having fun. I did this when I went to Egypt and had an amazing time learning to kiteboard. Every afternoon, we had teachings about handling pressure and tension. And in the morning, we kite surfed. We kiteboarded, basically. We learned to have fun. And I noticed the bonding nature of it. It was so powerful because we're all on this boat together. We're all having this adventures together. And it caused such bonding and such amazing growth. And it created a powerful learning experience. Well, I wanted to create this for you. I wanted to create this for my clients. And I want you to be there. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you and you want to have an adventure that you'll probably remember for a lifetime, and you want to learn the energetic embodiment principles, the letting in principles, the connecting principles, and you want to learn all this stuff where we do demos and practices together as a big group, then check out the link in the description for the Croatia event. Let's dive back in. What are these small actions? How do they work, and how do they change your reality? And what is this 1% rule I was talking about? Well, if you learn and you start to play with the idea that there is this perfect amount of tension that you utilize courage to step into, that's going to grow you and make you feel amazing when moving in the direction of what you want to create. Now, that's a mouthful of words, so we're going to break that down. Tension. Tension represents the resistance, the fear, the reason you procrastinate. I go to move in the direction of starting my own business, approaching that beautiful woman, telling her she's sexy, and my whole body freezes up. That's tension, right? There's fear. And you feel that part of you that wants to push back. And I've been through this, and I think many of you have too. Same thing with starting a business or taking action. Sometimes the tension starts later. Maybe you can do some approaches, maybe you get some phone numbers, but the tension starts when you think about going on a date, or the tension starts when you think about kissing the girl or moving towards sex, or you get 2 or 3 customers and then you start to feel the tension at that moment. So notice where the tension is for you. And I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Where does the tension start for you? Now, that tension is the resistance. It's the part of you that's afraid. The first thing you're going to do, if you've ever studied my revealing course, is you're going to learn what courage feels like. Courage is that part of you that opens your heart. It's willingness to step into the fear, the doubt, and the worry with an open heart, because you will never, and hear this, this is very important, I'm going to emphasize this, you will never get rid of the fear if you keep stepping into it with a closed heart. All you can do then is push through it, force your way through it, and then tomorrow, next week, the fear will only get worse. An example of this is when I wanted to get over my fear of approaching women, I used to go out and approach 20, 30 women on a Saturday night just to practice getting over my fear. And yes, I would push through, force my way through, and I'd bust out the other side. And I would think, wow, I finally got through it, but the fear would come back worse. The fear would be worse the next weekend, the next day, and my body would be exhausted. You see, when you go to step into tension, you've got to step into the right amount of tension for you. When you go to the gym to take action, to surmount to grow your muscles, for example, you're going to lift just the right amount of weight to grow your muscles. You lift too much, you're probably not going to want to go back to the gym again, right? You could even get hurt. That would be worse. On the other side, if you go to the gym and you don't lift enough weight, nothing's really going to happen. It's like, why did I come to the gym anyways? So when you go to lift the right amount of weight for you, when you start to calibrate and you get a journal and you start to notice what amount of weight allows me to open my heart, what amount of weight allows me to really be vulnerable and feel, not vulnerable needy, but vulnerable strong. I can handle these emotions. I can feel the emotions that's coming up as I step into the tension. If you want to know more about opening your heart in the heart walk, we'll put a link in the video where I teach about the heart walk in one of my previous videos and how to learn to feel more with your heart, because this is essential. I'll say it again. Learning to feel with your heart is essential because that's going to allow you to feel all the imposter syndrome and the fear and start to break it up. The more you feel it with an open heart and say, I can handle this, I can step into it, the more your subconscious mind naturally starts to change, because you're slaying your demons by walking into them, penetrating them, and basically killing them. You know, you're stabbing them. You're using your heart to stab them in the heart. And that has a powerful effect when done proper. Now, the way this works is very simple. When you go to take the action, there should be some resistance, some fear. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fear is there? Is it a 1 or is it a 10? And I would recommend in the beginning, to get used to this, look for fear that's around a 3 or a 4, and then step into that fear. It's very simple. Open your heart, learn to open your heart. We talked about that. And then step into the fear. When you step into the fear, you'll know you did a good job. You'll face it, you'll process it, because on the other side of the fear, you'll feel a sense of almost like what I call the oxytocin response moment. It's that moment where there's this warm, fuzzy response in your body, where your body feels like, wow, I did something. I have some love for myself. If you stepped into too much tension, you'll still experience more cortisol. In the beginning, you'll be experiencing the cortisol response, the fear. But as you bust through to the other side, you did it. I'm proud of myself. I believe in myself. I accomplished something today. There'll be an oxytocin response. And if you get more cortisol and that means your heart didn't open, you didn't grow, you're not learning. You're just forcing your way through the fear. So for most men, they have to calibrate down quite a bit to make this work. And I'm going to get an example here in a moment. So stay tuned, because the example should bring it all together. So when you go to step in, I'm going to say this again. You step in, you're going to feel some resistance. You're going to feel some tension. But on the backside, you should feel an opening. You should feel a warmth. You should feel a fuzziness. You should feel oxytocin, which creates a cuddle love response. It's just a sense of pride and self-love that comes from taking the action. Now, what is the example I wanted to give? I had a client. I have several right now that I'm working with on this same process, and they're all going through it. And every one of them, I had to calibrate back. I had to move them to a simpler place of being where they could handle the process, okay? Because they were all pushing too hard, too much, too fast. And that masculine male instinct to want to just go for it is always there. And the perfect example is this client I had, Onal. And Onal went out to get desensitized to approaching women. He was terrified to approach women. First week, he couldn't approach women at all. He said, I'm going to direct approach one woman a day for the whole week. And he didn't get one done. He said, I'd walk in circles. I'd spend an hour walking around. I couldn't get myself to do it. And I kind of expected that, to be honest. So the next thing I did was I said, okay, this week we're going to calibrate way back. And you're going to learn to say hi to 5 women with an open heart, 5 people, which you're not going to count. I think it was like 2 or 3. It's just hi as you walk by. But you're not going to count it unless you feel your heart connect to them and they acknowledge you. So as he walks by, he's just literally doing highs for the first couple of weeks. And he's feeling that moment where the heart connects. And he wouldn't count. It might take him 5, 10, 20 highs, but he finally got 2 where he felt that warm response. And that's powerful when you think about it, because that's going to create the part of him that wants to do it more. Every time you get that warm response, you're going to want to do it more. So then he went out the next week and he did some more of that, and then some more of that. It took him literally 5 months of slowly incrementing up, and oftentimes pushing too hard the next week and having to back off again, or having to calibrate in the middle of the week and calibrate back because he was going too fast, to get to the point where he was approaching freely in bars, nightclubs, everywhere, and women were loving him. Matter of fact, women started approaching him because his subcommunication got so good. He was so open. And, you wouldn't think it should take 5 months, but it did. It took him 5 months, but he took it very slow. And the truth is, in the beginning, not much was happening. The first 3 months or so was very subtle changes week to week, day to day. But then when the roots were finally built, when he was getting a lot of those oxytocin responses, those warm, fuzzy responses, feeling proud of himself, and he was having those moments where he was letting her in and feeling the warmth and the fuzziness, then he began to rise really fast and started to become way more bold, way more confident. I'm seeing that with a bunch of my clients I'm working with today. That's the process that literally can change your life. Now, today, I'm actually training him to be one of my coaches because he did such a good job and he sets the example beautiful. And if you want me to ever do an interview of Onal on this channel, definitely let me know. I'll get him on here and we'll do an interview at some point. So put that in the comments. I really appreciate it. So it's a really powerful process to desensitize yourself doing this. And you could do this not just with women, you can do this with business, like your bank account. Like when I used to look at money, I would almost cry. I had so many stories around money with my first business. I would just stress to the point of tears. And I learned to let it in a little bit each day and processed and told myself I could handle it, felt the vulnerability. If I only worked on it for 15 minutes a day, that was fine, until eventually money became fun for me. It became just another energy you play with. And that's beautiful and that's powerful. Same thing with just meeting strangers and saying hi and not hitting on anybody. I started there actually before I even started dating. Like, damn, you're interesting. I want to get to know you better. Or just joking with people and laughing. It works with everything once you get it down, but it does take a while to get this process down. The next thing I want to talk about is that real courage is acting while afraid. And you'll see that in this process, we're acting while afraid. But you're going to experience a difference between two forms of acting. If I act while I'm afraid and I have total fear in my body and I'm just forcing myself through pain, that doesn't count. If I act while I'm afraid and I experience courage, that's not really fear now. That's courage, isn't it? Think about somebody that's going to go jump out of an airplane and he can't wait to do it. He's scared. He's nervous, but he's like, this is going to be so much fun. Or how about a natural? Damn, that girl's hot. She's making me shake. I got to go talk to her. Or I'm going to do a more crazy ski run. And I love to ski than I've ever done before. I'm a little nervous, but it's going to be a blast. I can't wait to go to the top and do this triple black diamond, for example. I don't typically do triple black diamonds, but it's a good story. And that's where the power's at. So again, start with those 3s and 4s on that tension scale. Learn to feel that sense of, wow, I can't wait to try this. The more you get that sense of, I can't wait to do this thing, this is going to be interesting, I'm going to learn from it. And you start to program that literal feeling into your body, and you get it again and you get it again, the more your body's going to understand what you want it to do. You want it to find this sweet spot, and that's what you're working with. So I promised you an exercise that's going to help you grow your ability with tension, to develop more courage, to take action, to understand this principle better. And I've got a heck of a gift for you this week. It's something I'm going to build out much bigger down the road. But right now it's in its earliest form. Well, maybe not its earliest, but it's in a simplified form. It's called my Tension/Courage Journal. And actually in your comments, let me know if you decide to play with this and use it, which name you like better, because I'd be really curious. I think I'm going to go with Courage Journal, but I've been calling it Tension Journal in the past. But my Courage Journal is a simple PDF that teaches you this process in a little more detail than I'm giving you here. And if you want a copy of that Courage Journal or that Tension Journal this week only, not next week, it's usually 7 days from when this video comes out, send an email to support@truecourage.io that says either Tension Journal or Courage Journal, whichever name you like better. And we will send you an email back with a copy of that, no strings attached. And if you want to know more about our programs or anything that we're doing here at Fearless on any of our live events that we're putting on, or you want to be put on the mailing list to be part of our membership site when we launch it at the end of the year, put that in the email too. We'll be checking all those emails. So 1 week only. If you want that Tension Journal, send the email now. And then I'm going to invite you to take the actions in that Tension Journal all week. It's only like a 3-page PDF that breaks this process down of stepping into tension and courage in detail. And it's a lot of fun to do. It grows you. It's changed my life. It's changed so many clients' lives. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I can't wait to hear your responses from that. And the other agreement, I want one more thing. Put comments in the video this week when you do the Tension Journal. When you start stepping into the tension, getting those oxytocin responses, I want to hear in the comments below, because it helps everybody to grow, it helps everybody to learn how this is working for you. And I really appreciate that. So continuing on, stepping into tension, in summary, is not about waiting till you're ready. It's about stepping into tension now, but at the level you can handle, so you lift the right amount of weight so you can clean out the subconscious mind. Yes, fears, doubts, worries, stories, memories will come up, but you'll be letting those go. And if you know the revealing process, you're going to let them go really fast. You're just going to keep letting them go. And when you let go of enough of the insecurity from your subconscious mind, the programming you got in childhood, it's not really about you. Everybody is, I think, awesome underneath all their programming. If you let enough of that go, then what you want is either going to come into your life or something better is. It's going to be replaced by something better if it's not something you're truly meant to have. That's the way it works. You'll always get something equal or greater than your goal when you truly do this deep inner work. So with that said, again, make sure to drop a comment below. I definitely check those comments out the first week, especially. I'm looking at them all the time. And I want to see how you're doing with this. And I really believe that those comments are really good for everybody else too. Also, make sure to check out my previous video. It's the recording I did. It's just it's a deep hypnotic recording that helps you to change your subconscious mind. And really, this one also helps to get your heart open, get you more grounded, get you more feeling, this video would be perfect for learning to feel your heart open more. I'm surprised more people didn't watch it, but it is what it is. So definitely check that video out. There'll be a link here in the description. Now remember, only the courageous really live, and I'll see you in the next video.